When we have an outward mindset toward others, we see them as people. When we see them as people, it means we see their needs, goals, and challenges. We're interested in those things because we recognize that the way that I go about doing my job, I can choose to take those into account or not. The people that I work with, our patients, our group relationships. I can choose to take their needs, their headaches, their issues and objectives into account, or I can choose not to. That's what's ultimately determining if I'm seeing people as people or as objects. Now here, again, others matter. Please keep in mind, we're not saying that they matter more than us, but we're also saying they don't matter less than us. This is not talking about organizational value. Somebody with 30 years experience in dentistry is more valuable to a practice than a summer intern coming in to help with some filing. That's not the problem. The problem is when I begin to believe that because of those 30 years in dental practice, that makes me more valuable as a human being and matter more as a human being. That's when we start crossing a line and we begin to communicate that to everybody that we're working with. Every staff meeting starts off with, welcome everybody, just remember I'm better than all of you and I matter quite a bit more. Anyway, let's dive in. Every patient relationship starts off with, good to see you in here, glad to have the dollars, or I'm sorry, the person in the bed here in the chair. Whether we think we're communicating that or not, if we're seeing individuals, that is being communicated. That has more to do with turnover than anything else. When we say mean things or demeaning things or have all kinds of other behavioral issues, those are simply a manifestation of the underlying mindset. They're not the problem, they're the symptom of the problem. When we have an inward mindset, we are focused primarily only on our results, my results, personally. When we have an outward mindset, we're focused on our results. And mine is part of ours. This isn't altruism. This isn't, I'm just going to make sure everybody else gets their stuff done and then eventually I'll get to mine. It's not it at all. I'm going to focus like a laser, get my job done, do the stuff that needs to be done. I'm simply going to take other people into account in the way that I do it so that I'm not solving one problem and creating 3 or 4 other problems, which I'll then blame everybody else for. When we have an outward mindset, we have sight, we have clarity. We see things as they really are, not as we want them to be or need them to be. We don't have a need for justification or validation. We don't have a need for people to defer and treat us in a particular way. We don't have all of these sensitivities that occur because we see people and we're taking them into account in the way we go about doing things. In fact, sometimes we can get in trouble when we even start thinking, all right, I want to be a great boss. I want to be a great leader. But when I'm thinking about myself as a great leader, who is it that I'm thinking about? Me. I'm not taking others into account. Sometimes we're more interested in being seen as a great leader than we are actually in being a great leader. Sometimes we're more interested in being seen as being helpful than we are in actually being helpful. Now, imagine for a moment, let's go back here. We take a look at this inward mindset. Imagine for a moment that I'm communicating to somebody, I see you as an object. I see you as an obstacle in my life. What does that invite in others? Same thing, right? A little reciprocity. If you're feeling that judgment and contempt, you're going to find resistance coming from the other side. And again, of course, I'll never see my own role in it. I'll only see their reaction and blame them for any fallout or conflict that occurs from it. So if I'm communicating to somebody else that they're an object, I'm really giving them a wonderful invitation to quote-unquote go into the box toward me. I could be sowing these seeds all over the place. Every day you're handing out hundreds of invitations. They're either to go inward or to go outward. We just need to be aware of the invitations that we're extending. The last thing we want to do is create a situation like we're about to see here. This is what happens when somebody goes into the box and then invites somebody else to join them. We're going to see a little bit of a spiraling out of control here. This is from a TV show that used to be on years ago, Malcolm in the Middle. Okay, so it's a little bit of a real-life demonstration of what it looks like when one individual goes inward toward another, and watch for the scaling out of control, okay? Here we go.
Excuse me. I know you didn't think anyone would catch you, but you just slammed your door into my car. The least you can do is say you're sorry, lady. You don't have to take that tone. It's not like I'm hurting your resale value. I'm sorry. See? Like that.
walk with your It's a sugar date. What if spring is late and winter it's a marshmallow world? It's the time for play. It's a it's a whole year and the sun is bright like the pumpkin head. It's shining so you know it won't freeze. The world is your snowball, see how it grows. Whenever it snows, the world is your snowball just for a song. So get up and roll it along. It's the only world made for sweethearts. Take a walk with your favorite girl.
Have you seen anything like this professionally before? Other relationships? You just see it from afar, it just looks silly, right? You just see these two people just going at it. It's like, do they not understand what's going on? So let's think about this for a moment. This is Malcolm's mom, captured in all of her glory right there. If I were to walk up to Malcolm's mom just moments before this were to have taken place and shown her a picture of what her car is about to look like, all crumpled up, mashed up, torn up, and said, this is what your car is going to look like in about 10 minutes. What do you think her response to that would be? Crazy, right? No way, impossible. And I said, no, you don't understand. You're going to choose to make your car look like this. What would her response to that be? Same thing, right? Nobody in their right mind would do this. And of course, that's kind of the point. When we're in the box, we are not in our right mind. When we're in the box, we crave almost conflict more than we do solutions. We crave conflict more than peace. Problems greater than solution. I mean, it's just a crazy place to be in. Of course, when Malcolm's mom gets back to work or home or wherever she's going, how does her story start regarding the car? How does it start? What do you think? It's a crazy lady. Something along those lines, right? You would never believe what happened. Right from the very beginning, the very way that the story is told, there's a single individual that's to blame for all of this. And it's the other person. So let's see what this looks like. Let's map this out for just a moment.